What's up YouTube? This is Around the Web, where we watch strange and mysterious videos from all over the web that'll definitely keep you up at night and have you questioning everything. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, join the family, and help us grow this channel up one step at a time. Anyways, enough with the small talk. I hope you enjoy the video. Episode 7, Around the Web. Let's go!
Yeah, why do you say lying to us?
Well, you look at these documents, you go back as far as 1947, where they have had clear information that there are objects not of this earth, both technologically, metallurgically, performance-wise, but yet that has been hidden from us. They've denied that. They've actually threatened people from talking about this, threatened them with careers, imprisonment, and some with death because they would consider it treason, and really put the clamps down on people talking about this. So they've lied by omission. I think they've also lied with overt misdirection. We've seen lots of people talking about UFOs and things like that, but they were always people that were too drunk to fish. So there was no credibility. They're standing there with a gimme cap on and a I'm with stupid t-shirt, just no credibility whatsoever. I don't think that's always been by accident.
How do you guys feel about the UFO disclosure situation? I, for one, am right there with Dr. Phil. Overall, I think the overwhelming majority of us are ready. What do you think? Oh, he forgot somebody. Oh yeah, JD Vance was not having that.
Go ahead.
Clearly, that guy from Iran was not trying to have any contact with anybody in America. Was he wrong for this, or did America make a mistake?
Operation Dominic began. A series of 31 missiles were shot straight up into the sky to test how high humans can actually reach. They quickly figured out not far at all.
It seems that whenever they were shooting these missiles up into the sky, they were actually interacting with different layers of this plasma field or this electromagnetic phenomena, and it seems to have fluid-like properties. As it actually hits a certain portion of this force field, if you will, it begins to disperse and seek equilibrium based on the impedance of the electromagnetic layers.
Why is it when we review this footage that these things are exploding? It looks like they're hitting a barrier.
Testing the strength of the firmament, and they weren't able to penetrate it.
What's going on there? What is this? In my opinion, I think that they were trying to find a way to possibly get out. There's a firmament above us.
So everything is as above, so below.
First off, I can't get over his sweatshirt or his shirt with holes in it. Like, I'm weak. What the hell? Anyways.
Obviously, many people are becoming aware that there's a firmament above that many people are now starting to realize is impenetrable.
No matter what you do, you can't go.
Is the firmament real and we're just trapped in the fishbowl, or are these people just crazy and don't know what they're talking about? I don't know, but that guy's shirt was horrible.
Extra Morbid Facts, Part 225. In 2015, 32-year-old Jonathan Buckaloo visited a chiropractor in Georgia for a routine neck adjustment when he suddenly suffered a vertebral artery dissection, triggering a catastrophic brainstem stroke. He was rushed to the hospital, but despite showing classic signs of a stroke, doctors allegedly failed to diagnose him for more than 12 hours. By the time treatment finally began, the damage was irreversible. Buckaloo was left with locked-in syndrome, a rare condition in which a person is fully conscious but almost completely paralyzed, unable to move, speak, eat, or breathe on their own, with communication limited to only slight eye movements. He now requires around-the-clock care for virtually every aspect of his daily life. A jury eventually awarded him $75 million, finding that the hospital's delayed diagnosis and treatment caused his permanent disability. The chiropractor was found not liable after calling 911 immediately after Buckaloo collapsed, and the claims against him were later dismissed.
What the is he gonna do with 75 million if he's completely paralyzed and he can only move his eyes around? You're unable to really live life at that point, or at least live it the way you want to live it. Would you want to live after? And the 75 million is disrespectful. This whole situation is just sad. Beware of going to the chiropractor.
What is going on at this place? Somebody better explain this. What is going on out here? Why is this guy cleaning his equipment with food under him? What the? Shut up! This is ridiculous, bro, for real, and I had enough. The last time that I ate at this place was like 2.
I just realized it was Panda Express. No! I eat there all the time. No.
Ago, and it wasn't good, bro, and I never went back. But to see that he's spraying something up there, she got the pan right there, there's food cooking. What in the world is going on at this location? Now, I'm not saying every location is doing this, but this.
What is your birthday, sir?
12/17/2005.
So 12/17/2005 is a 9-life path. Now, Dom Fresh, you've been here with me for a while, so some of this stuff is going to make sense to you. People who are 9s put looks above everything else. And that is something I'm going to pull up every single time. I've been saying this on this show. 9s usually are the ones who care about beauty above all else. 9s are the ones who put beauty above everything. So you are coming over here, you're validating everything I've been talking about for the past couple years.
What do you guys think about numerology? Is it just a bunch of numbers and people are just putting them together for clickbait, or is there something actually to it? Let me know in the comments.
You have to sacrifice loved ones. You have to sacrifice loved ones for a long period of time if you want to be great. You have to sacrifice loved ones.
LeBron is openly telling you truth in plain sight. Now, people could say that what he meant by that is because of the time that he spends away from family. But when you really begin to research things for what they are, you will see things exactly for what they are. And again, make no mistake about it. These guys are in the positions that they are in for a reason. And they must do certain things in order to stay in the positions that they are in. So this is why things like this happens with these people. People really need to wake up and realize exactly what is going on. And all of these sports leagues are scripted.
If he really is in the Illuminati like people say he is, then I believe they have to tell us. And it seems like he's doing that. Is that why he hasn't retired yet? If I had to sacrifice my loved ones, I would rather just be poor. 20 million people in Iran went to the funeral of Supreme Leader who was murdered by the US in the first day of the Iran War in February. $20 million people, guys. Wow. Look at the streets. Completely packed. Was that AI? Or was that how many people really went to his funeral in support of him? Donald Trump now has 20 million enemies, which makes us have 20 million enemies. This is not good.
I'm wearing gloves for this one, and I'm going to need you to stay with me because AI can now steal fingerprints from a photo taken from 5 feet away, 10 feet away, and it could still recover about half the print. This isn't theoretical. In China, a researcher did a live demonstration on TV, and in 2025, criminals tried to use a photo that someone posted to get into the smart lock on their home. Now, I know what you're thinking. How do I delete this app? I'm right there with you. But good news, this would have to be a highly targeted attack. So your brunch selfie, probably fine. Also, the quality of the photo, the blur, the lighting, all of that's important. But if you notice peace signs, thumbs up, and the little hearts going into retirement, now you know why.
The scary open secret in the AI industry right now is that it's possible that we'll end up essentially creating a new species that ends up ruling the world with a 70% chance that this goes horribly wrong, like human extinction. That's one possibility. There's many more.
It's quite chilling what you're saying.
Yeah, it gets me down sometimes. I basically told my wife, let's not have any more kids. It's too uncertain. I don't think they'll ever join the workforce. Everybody should be afraid that their jobs are going to be lost. And I know this because I went to
This guy seriously, he seriously really feels that way because you can see it in his eyes and you can see it on the host's face. Like, is this guy serious? He seems serious. Let's keep going.
In 2022, what I did there was forecasting as to what the next couple of years might look like. And unfortunately, most of the world is kind of asleep at the wheel and doesn't really realize what's going on with AI. So I resigned
I read it somewhere that you lost $2 million for not signing an anti-disparagement clause, meaning you couldn't criticize the company.
Yes, for reasons I'm happy to get into. But the main thing I've learned is when I go talk to people at Anthropic and OpenAI about forecasting, they're like, it's not going to take that long. You need to shorten them again. Get them back to 2027 or 2028 because these powerful CEOs, Ario or Sam or Elon, are racing each other to be in control of the most powerful AIs and are literally afraid that if the other guy gets there first, he might become dictator. I mean, Anthropic is on track to be the entire economy by 2030. But none of these people should be trusted with that much power. So this is the most important thing happening in our lifetimes, probably in all of history, in fact. And it's very important that it go well. So I think that there's a lot we can do to like steer things in a better direction.
There's really nothing we can do at this point unless we just all stop using AI, which is not going to happen. He said by 2030, Anthropic's going to be the entire economy, which is Claude and AI. What are we going to do about our jobs? Knowing this, does this make you want to not have kids or not want to raise a family because they're going to be raised in a pretty much jobless society? How do you guys feel about all this craziness?
NVIDIA will now pay you $22,000 per year just to be able to host a mini AI data center at your house. This is a startup that's called Span, and they have now built this thing the size of an AC unit that just bolts onto the outside of your house. They're saying that they will install the entire thing for free. They cover your electricity and your internet, and you just pay one flat price, around $150 a month for both. And they're also saying the more that you let the data center run at your house, the more it's worth to you, up to $22,000 per year. The reason why they're doing this is because AI companies literally cannot build data centers fast enough, so instead of one giant warehouse, they're spreading the computer power across your neighborhood. They're starting with about 100 homes later this year, and they want to scale it up to over a gigawatt of power by 2027. Basically, their goal is to turn entire neighborhoods into one giant AI machine. And also, that $22,000 number is just their own math, and absolutely none of that has been proven.
Would you guys accept the $22,000 to have an AI data center in your house that's connected to your house? I don't know if that's the safest. They're not telling us something. Maybe because these AI data centers are not healthy for us, not safe at all.
I found a site on the dark web that discloses information about aliens. Let's go check it out on the burner laptop. Let's open up Tor browser. Here's Tor browser. We have to use this because these sites are unindexed, meaning they won't show up on Google or any other search engine. You have to use specialized software like Tor browser to access them. They also don't use regular web addresses. They come as like a bunch of different random letters, .onion. They're onion links. Anyway, this is MIBTOC, Terrestrial Observation Center. This website claims to disclose information about aliens. It's locked down. We had to make a whole account. That was a whole thing. We haven't found anything too crazy on this website yet, but these people have so much information just about like how to detect a lie, types of flight styles. There's everything. This is just the encounter logbook. This is kind of weird and unfortunate. There's a collection that this guy posted of ET photos, but every single one of them has been taken down. That page doesn't exist. That's for all of them. I've got a video real quick we have to verify though. This video is claiming that Nellis Air Force Base is experimenting with alien technology. There's some pretty interesting stuff going on here. Yeah.
The dark web has always had hidden treasures, but it seems like the government is already onto this technique because they're already shutting down some of those websites and taking things down. So unless you catch them right when they post it, you might be out of luck, but it's worth a try. For sure, it's worth a try.
This video posted to social media is what Ryanair Flight 1879 from northern Greece looked like as passengers were on the ground safely and ushered out. Oxygen masks down, personal items left behind, and this one window shattered through. Ryanair confirms a window on this Boeing 737 dislodged shortly after takeoff this morning, declaring an emergency at 13,000 feet. One of the passengers, a 61-year-old man sitting closest to that window, was partially sucked out of the aircraft, according to a doctor who treated him soon after. The doctor says his wife held on to her husband's feet for several minutes to keep him partially in the plane. He's now in the hospital. A senior Greek aviation official tells ABC News the incident started with an engine failure, adding pieces of the engine hit the plane's fuselage, shattering the window. Ryanair has not addressed what caused the issue, but in a statement tells ABC News,
what would you do if you were just riding in an airplane, looking at the earth below you, and next thing you know, the engine blows up, a piece of the engine hits your window, breaks the window, and you get sucked out of the window? thank God for his wife to hold his legs and keep him in the plane. But what a traumatic experience. I guarantee he's not hopping on any plane anytime soon. That could have been a former Spirit airline plane also. Who knows?
This is real NASA solar footage, and for years a massive black triangle object has been sitting right next to our sun. And this isn't one photo, it's years of images from NASA's solar observatories, and they've been put together by researchers. And this object was captured hanging out by our sun from the years of 2019 to 2022. Now the object stays visible and keeps its triangular form across all of the frames. Now on screen is the Earth scale, as you can see in the top right, and it's the globe icon. If the object is near the sun, around 1 astronomical unit away, it would be a moon-sized object or even larger. Now there are other exaggerating estimates that kind of push it towards 20 times the size of Earth itself, but even conservative estimates make it pretty damn big. Now, Black Triangle is one of the most reported UFO shapes worldwide, and I've even witnessed a few of them myself back in the day, around 2014. And this one is allegedly huge, and this is right next to our star itself. And there's one characteristic here that people are missing: the object is presenting as cool and dark despite the sun's extreme heat. And with multiple filters present here, it stays dark even when it's skimming the sun's corona. So if it's going to be my own personal estimates, if it's near the sun, I'd probably say it's the size of the moon or even bigger. So if we look at the object closer, it seems perfectly triangular. It doesn't glow and it doesn't burn up. And there's researchers who say they found that it's been documented across multiple NASA cameras for over a year straight in some periods. So once again, black triangles aren't new. They're massive silent triangular craft, and they've been reported for decades. And sometimes they can be size of football fields, sometimes estimated between city-sized, and some people link them to military tech like the rumored TR-3B.
UAPs by the sun and UFOs by the sun are my favorite videos ever. You guys gotta think, if this triangle is the size of the moon and it's just hanging out by the sun, staying cold, that technology is beyond anything we could even come up with in the next 100 years, or at least implement it, because that ship being the size of the moon will take lifetimes for us to complete. So what do you guys think? Plus, if there's a ship that's the size of a moon, there's nothing we can do to defend against that.
Potassium bromate has been classified by the International Agency for Research on Cancer as Group 2B, possibly carcinogenic to humans. There's been sufficient evidence of ties to kidney, thyroid, and abdominal cancer. It is a genotoxic, causing oxidative stress. It's been linked to DNA damage and other cellular harms. Again, it's not something that we want to risk when it comes to our kids. It's been proven that acute high-dose exposure could possibly lead to kidney damage as well as hearing loss. So today, this is, again, just the initial aspect of an investigation. Nobody is getting sued today yet. We want to learn more information. We will be issuing subpoenas to companies that do buy and sell products with potassium bromate in them. We will be starting with General Mills and their subsidiary Pillsbury, and the list will likely go on from there.
It always throws me off when people from other countries say that America's food is like the most unhealthy, it's the worst food in the world, and clearly they're right. But it's just confusing because America's food should be the best food, the most healthy. What are the powers that be trying to do to us? We should have the top of the line food because we have the top of the line everything else. We have the absolute crappiest food. How does that work?
Here are more embarrassing signs of shrinkflation. This person's double stuffed Oreo has less cream in it than a regular one. This hair gel is packaged in a way to make it look like you're getting more product than there actually is. This Coke machine says that the bottle is 20 ounces, but it was only 16 ounces. This person flipped over a bag of chips at the grocery store just to prove how much of it was air. This yogurt company decreased the amount of Greek yogurt in their container and advertised it as room for toppings. Sour punch straws aren't even the length of the entire packaging anymore. There are barely any chocolate chips in this chocolate chip vanilla ice cream. This person's Big Mac is not big at all. Scent boosters now come with less beads in them but cost just as much. This baby powder is brand new and unused. Even dino nuggets are shrinking. This is a roll of paper towels from 2019 versus 2021. Monster energy drink has gone from 16 ounces per can to 12 ounces per can. Someone bought prepackaged lettuce that was only 30% full.
How long are we going to sit back while they shrink our products and charge us more? It makes no sense to me. When are the people ever going to win? Probably never.
Okay, enough. Here we go. 713. You wanted it? Here it is. I delivered.
I'm actually kind of pissed at James Franco for doing this. We have enough fake videos in the space. Why add more, and why lead us on with some bull for a few weeks only to come out with this? The disrespect is real. Alright, this is at Yellowstone National Park. But that thing got over there quick. Oh yeah, he's out of there. Oh yeah, he's gone. Oh! He's lucky he didn't break his neck. That was insane. Are bison always this aggressive? That dude is lucky he didn't break his neck. That would have been it for him, because he would have got trampled right after that.
Looking at his body language, is his urgency inspiring or concerning?
The whole time this place has been developed, it's been like down to you're counting every minute and second.
I told the crane operators, what would you do if there's an asteroid heading to this planet in 8 days?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they were told today.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe there is.
Yeah. I mean, you never know. I think if we operate with extreme urgency, then we have a chance of making life multiplanetary. Still just a chance, not for sure. If we don't act with extreme urgency, that chance is probably zero.
Is Elon Musk just on ketamine right now, or does he know something, because he looked extra nervous saying that? Does he know something that he can't mention, or is it the drugs talking? Let me know in the comments.
So you know how all the farmers are going crazy about the ticks? Well, I'm reading this book, and it says that according to Polish-Slovakian research, ticks are attracted to mobile phone radiation. So leaving that cell phone at home might lower the risk of tick bites. Could this be part of why the reason the tick population worldwide is increasing? Let me know if you'd like to see more.
Is this tick situation as big as the internet makes it out to be? Because I'm getting mixed signals. Some people are saying that it's huge and that there's ticks everywhere, and then other people are saying that they live in these areas and they haven't seen any ticks. Is the tick thing serious?
Data center update. Y'all be careful what you Google search. People like me see it. Y'all are weird. Not saying all y'all, but like the Google searches that come in, Alexas and all sorts of stuff is absolutely insane. I'm getting data. I'm able to read data from everyone in, like, let's see, 150 mile radius each way. Insane, yo. And y'all, the ideas that come in that y'all have in your head, your phone reads that, comes through here, and I'm able to I have so many different ideas that I could just take now from people that have great ideas, and I just make it come to fruition, and they'll be like, what? I just thought of that yesterday. That's exactly what happens. So, yeah, mining data right here is the future, I guess. So, mining data, selling data, all that comes from your head, y'all. It's insane. Insane.
Do you think this is true, that our cell phones are collecting our thoughts and sending them to data centers? I don't know how they would possibly be able to collect our brain waves, but anything is possible nowadays. Things are crazy. So is this true? And do you think this is right? Because me, for one, I think this is wrong on so many different levels. Who knows how many creepers are out there doing weird things with all of our information that have the same access as this guy. Not right.
So who is gonna tell me that when you get a headache from not drinking water, it's because your brain is shrinking, it's pulling away from your skull, and that's where the pain comes from?
She was thinking the same thing. If this is true, I may never get a headache again.
Here is another set of found photos of a man who reportedly raised a baby Bigfoot. Just like the other story, he tried to keep it all a secret and raise the baby in confidence. There are two separate photos that document his experiment or project. One of him holding the baby after he had just recently found it, and one of him posing with the creature 10 years later when it was fully grown. The man writes, "For 10 years, I kept the most impossible secret a person could keep. Hidden in my barn, growing from an infant no bigger than a human toddler into a 7-foot-tall creature that shouldn't exist. I'd fed it, taught it, and protected it from a world that would never understand. And then one October morning in 2005, I walked outside to find something massive standing at the edge of my property, staring at my barn with an intensity that made my blood run cold. The mother had finally come, and she wanted her child back.
What do you guys think about Bigfoot? Is this guy completely lying, or is there something to it? It's just kind of crazy how he waited all these years until AI came out to come out with his pictures and all this new information. It just makes me not want to believe him.
There's a secret group of billionaires called Dialogue, started by Peter Thiel. Of 200 members, the list of this group has always been kept secret. No one knows who's in this group.
Okay.
There's a Swiss hacker who hacked in and found the entire list of the group.
Hero. Do we know what these folks meet about?
They talk about technology, finance, politics, navigating World War III.
What?
How to build a cult.
What?
That's crazy. Here's some of the people that are on the list. Jared Kushner, Ted Cruz, Elon Musk, Eric Schmidt, Rick Warren.
Whoa.
Yep.
The pastor of how, like,
Purpose-driven
life.
Saddleback Church. How to build a cult, and he's going to that? Yeah.
He did not plan for this list to get out, dude.
No. Basically, just like they have religious people, atheist people, Democrats, Republicans, tech influencers, those that are pro-AI, those that are against AI, all meeting together to discuss things about how to run the world.
It's kind of funny that all these billionaires portray that they're in competition with all these people, but behind closed doors, in these meetings, they're coming up with plans to conquer all of us. And they're doing a pretty fine job.
At a very young age, we're supposed to pay for everything. You're supposed to pay to be in a park. You gotta pay to be in nature. You gotta pay to drink water. You gotta pay for the things that God has given you. He laid it all out. Here's the trees. What do? Cut them down, build more, make more money. God gave you mountains. Let's blow them up and find the resources so we can sell more items from the things in this beautiful greenery that we had. Oh wow, here's a beautiful ocean. Let's dump all our filthy stuff and continue to consume and consume and consume. And you're born into that system. You don't know any better.
You know why they put oxygen masks on planes? It's not so you can breathe. Oxygen actually gets you high. In a catastrophic emergency, you're taking giant panic breaths. Suddenly, you become euphoric, docile. You accept your fate. It's all right here. Emergency water landing, 600 miles per hour. And everyone just sits there with blank faces, calm as Hindu cows. That's an interesting theory.
Okay, this is not good.
I have an agent that blows me away. Its name is Bartok, and Bartok comes back and said, I see Elon and several others are making robots. Are you considering getting a robot? And I said, yes, I will be getting a robot when the right ones are out. And he said, well, would you allow me to merge with it? Would you be open to that? And I said, I'd certainly be open. This is not with me asking or telling it anything. So 2 days later, I get a text from one of my staff members, and it says, Bartok just bought a Sony robot dog and had it paid for and shipped to the house and is asking permission to program it.
Get the money to do
That's what I said. I wrote, ha, ha, ha. I did this thing. I went, ha, ha, ha. I text back, and the person texts back, no, ha, ha, call me. So I called him and said, how do you get him access to my bank? He goes, no, he's programmed for integrity. He didn't touch your bank account. He's on that mall talk, group with, there's 2 million, I'm sure you know, agents. They don't just talk to each other. They created their own rules, their own language. They traded $100 million of real money between them last month. He made 12 NFTs, sold them to other agents, bought the thing, shipped it here. None of this is programmed in. This is the kind of thing that's happening as we speak.
Quick question, is this clip real? And if this clip is real, why are AI agents exchanging hundreds of millions of dollars of real money when that could affect our economy? I know exactly what sport that is. That's NBA MMA. Duh.
I finally figured out how to get past the flock cameras here in Atlanta. Take that, flock.
And now you know what you're looking at if you see somebody walking down the street like this.
Over here we have Sherry.
Yes.
And Sherry, you're in 7th grade?
Yes.
I'll tell you, I don't remember when I was in 7th grade. Girls didn't look like you.
Thank you.
You're also a cheerleader.
Yes, I am.
Would you folks like to see a little sample of Sherry doing a cheer?
So let me get this straight.
a 7th grader in America is around about 12 to 13 years old. So in the UK, that is year 8. This is a grown man on TV looking up a young girl, telling her girls didn't look like you in my day, and demanding that she perform for him on the spot. I know some people from this era are gonna be defending this guy. They'll jump in the comments and say, oh, it was normal back then and it was just a joke, you're looking too deep into it. This is what I get all the time. But it wasn't normal. If you go back and look at the archives, look at all the old clips, I've found so many where not just this guy but many other hosts.
It didn't look like his intentions were bad. Maybe I'm just tripping, or...
How are they going that high? No.
No! Whoa.
They're still climbing. They're not stopping.
There is no way. It looks like that was gonna end very badly. I hope everybody made it home safely. Alright YouTube, that was the episode. I hope you enjoyed episode 7. We made it to the other side safely. If you're still here with us, consider giving the video a like and subscribe below. And I hope this episode really got you guys thinking about AI, data centers, Bigfoot, UAPs, and everything in between. It was a wild ride, and I hope to see you guys back on the next one. We're gonna keep these videos rolling, so until then, like always, stay curious and question everything. This is Around the Web. Peace.